everyone, I'm TH Point and welcome to Cyber Sentinel. What is Cyber Sentinel, you ask? I like to call it a two-dimensional Turing machine puzzle game. It's available on Steam and this is what it looks like. So I covered this before in a PPP video and it looked promising, so I played a little more and I guess I got a pretty good overview over it right now. So what is it all about? Well, you're a hacker. It's a game with a hacking theme. It's not really with hacking mechanics. Well, it's closer than most hacking games actually, because it's actually a programming game. So you're a hacker and you have to steal data, which are those files lying around in this level here, and therefore you have to program a program, and this is your program, those cubes. Where you can multi-thread basically by having multitask by having multiple programs running around. They can have either the same program, as in this case, they both have a 1 on the cube, or they can have different programs or different code, different algorithms, I should say, probably. So every code or every program is a state machine. So we have to collect those cubes, those files, by programming the state machine, and we do so by opening this menu. It all looks a little mobile-esque. It's not a mobile port. It's Steam first, or PC first, but I think the developer plans on having a mobile version, which would explain why the UI is already okay for mobile, I guess. It doesn't really hurt the game there, so that should be fine. So it's a state machine, as I mentioned. It starts in this state. This is a starting state. You can see this by having the 1 in here. So the program with the number 1 starts in this state, which is not actually doing anything. It's just sitting there if it's not leaving a state. So let's tell the program to leave the state by putting another state up here, which is a move up state. And now we connect them and tell the program whenever it's on a gray tile in this state, it should switch state to this state. And then we can start and see what happens. And the programs start moving forward until they crash into the wall and explode. There we go. Let's really shortly demonstrate how this goes when we, like, you can do it in this mode, in the, oh wait, I have to restart first. You can do it with the overlay on and you see which state the programs are in, which is kind of useful for debugging. Anyway, so how do I make them turn around? Well, you can change the color of the floor color of the tiles. So we can put a red tile here, for example, and create another state and tell this state to switch to this state when it encounters the red tile. So if we start it now, you will see that the cube is going on the red tile, which switches the state and it turns around and moves to the right and eventually explodes as well, because we don't have enough states and things yet. So what do we need? We need an up arrow. No, we have an up state already. We need a left state and a right state. That should be enough. And let's just put some color tiles in here. So let's say red is turning right, blue is turning up, there and there, and green is turning left. Now we just connect those states. So whenever you encounter red, you go to the right state. There we go. Whenever you encounter green, you go to the left state. And whenever you encounter blue, you go to the up state. And whenever you're on gray, you don't switch state at all. And there we go. That should do the trick. So now we can speed. Oh, there's actually a patch. This used to be a plus button. They changed it to a slider, which is useful. There we go. You can speed it up. A little sensitive, the slider, maybe. Anyway, this is one of the, well, more basic levels. They get more complex later, and there's a nice, incentive on optimizing your code and getting less states, getting the program to run in less states, or complete level with less states being used, I guess. So let's go to chapter 2, level 5. So in this one, you have 4 different programs, and when you take a look here, you can see you have 4 different starting states, and you can basically write a program for all of them, or you can connect them all to the same one, which I'm going to do because that's more useful, actually. So while it looks that you have multiple different programs running here, it's actually the best way to solve this is by actually, by actually using the same code for all of them. So it's maybe not the best example level, but I couldn't find a better one which would not be overly complicated, so or annoying in some other way. So what do we do? Well, actually I forgot how I solved this the best way. We could put this down, but let me introduce a different feature. The game has Steam Workshop support, so you can click on Community Solutions and you can see different solutions of other players. There are 5 solutions available. 4 of them use 7 states. 1 of them is rated with 5 stars, and 1 uses 13 states. So this is a little. Let's take a look at this one first. Okay, so this one uses actually a program for, like, a different program for each of the cubes. So we can make this run and take a look. You can actually move the map as well. and you can see the cubes following the order or the commands of the programs. And this is actually interesting because you can skip all levels if you want by just loading the community solution and getting that to run. But hey, oops, that's not the button. We can rate the solution, or we can restart and take a look at a different solution, which is way more optimized because it only uses 3 different states. Well, 4 starting states and then 3 other states, and that works as well. And there we go. Switch, swoop, 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 swoop. There we go, and that's what I meant with incentive on optimizing. You're supposed to use as few states as possible, and you get a rating in the end, which depends on how many states you used. And you collect those multi-passes to unlock later levels. And we could rate it. Oh, that actually opens the website. I don't actually think it uses Steam Workshop. Actually, I think it's something like its own mechanical thing, like. It links to a website, so I don't think this is actually Steam Workshop because it doesn't open up the Steam Workshop or whatever. So this is probably developed by the developer of the game itself. So let me show you one more level. We go to chapter 3, level 7, and so there's a level with enemies. So if I start the level, you can see, and teleporters, you can see the red cubes moving over here. If you touch them, you die, and if something enters the yellow things, it comes out at the other side. It's weird that there is no indicator where the teleporter leads. It just comes out of the other, like out of the opposed wall, which is a little weird. But yeah, you have to plan your way through here, which is actually way simpler than it looks, because I think, if I remember correctly, you just have to like delay your movement by 1 every time you step in between those or something along those lines. It was pretty simple. Anyway, so, is the game any good? Well, it comes down to level design, obviously. There are goods and bads. Some levels are a little annoying because it's quite obvious what you have to do, but it's quite tricky to, like, it's quite a lot of work to put it down. But most levels are actually challenging and interesting to solve, and usually there are multiple different approaches to solving them with multiple different results. Well, scores, I guess, like, because you use different amounts of states. So it's kind of cool. The only thing I'm a little bothered about is that it actually gets stale fairly fast because there aren't too many new mechanics introduced. So basically you saw all the mechanics I encountered so far, and I'm not sure if there maybe will be a few more. I didn't complete the game yet, as you can see. And this menu is really weird as well. It's fig leaf. I'm not sure what the problem is. I'm trying to figure out if you make a small flick like this, it's not working. You have to make it. It's really strange. I'm not sure why this happens. It's really strange. Anyway, so yeah, the level design is pretty good. It gets a little stale because there aren't enough mechanics, in my opinion. Like, they're not getting introduced quickly enough. And the music in this main menu is really loud, so let's jump to a different level. Oh yeah, and there are cutscenes as well. There's a story going on. It's not very interesting so far. It's probably pretty. It starts pretty basic. Let's put it that way. This is actually my solution for this level already. Let's keep it running. Why not? In the background while I continue talking. Okay, so as mentioned, you just collect those passes and you unlock more levels. Well, not really. Like, you unlock more chapters. So you need a certain amount of passes to get to the next chapter. And in a chapter, you have to solve all levels sequentially, though. So you have to solve level 3 in chapter 2 to unlock level 4 in chapter 2. So you don't have to complete all the chapters, but if you want to complete it, you have to complete it in order. or the levels in the chapter in order. Which is a weird way of doing it, but it works, I guess. If you get stuck in a level and it's not, you can usually go back to an earlier chapter, which you did not complete yet, and continue there, solving them, which will unlock the next chapter. So it gives you multiple options to not getting stuck, but it still kind of restricts you from going into every level you want. And on the other hand, there's this community share solution thingy, which allows you to, well, just skip through all the levels if you want to, if the community solved it. So I guess there's a solution for every level already, probably. So yeah. Okay, there's one more feature. There is a level editor somewhere. if I can find it. There we go. Level editor. I didn't play around with this, or not a lot at least. I've tried to place some things on the floor. It seems to work fairly well, so that's good. I'm actually not sure where to get community levels. I'm not sure. Maybe this might actually be. No, there we go. Right, there's a community level button. Yeah, I saw this earlier. I actually loaded one of them already. Sort by score. Why not? Let's take a look. And oh, this seems interesting. This is like a multi-level multi-stage level, I guess. And it says pixel. Okay, interesting. I'm not gonna attempt to solve this, but yeah, it's cool that there are community levels and stuff like that. So I think this gives the game a lot of, well, replayability, and that's pretty good. So yeah, the option menu is not brilliant. Actually, no, it's fine, because the important things that seem to miss are in the pre-game launcher. It's a Unity game. You have resolution options, window, and full screen options in the pre-game launcher, and I think graphical presets as well. Not 1% sure, actually. No, I don't think so. Might be, though. I don't know. There's a full screen button in here as well. You can turn on and off TV effect and bloom effect. I recommend turning them off. I'm gonna show you how it looks with TV effect, which is pretty terrible. You have this TV effect, which makes it really hard to see things. I imagine it's even harder on YouTube after YouTube compression. So yeah, I don't know. This is, I mean, I get why it's there because of immersion, because you're sitting in front of a monitor and hacking and stuff, but I don't know. It makes it really hard to see, so I would not recommend that. Overall, though, it's not perfect, but it's a pretty good puzzle game if you're into programming puzzles. Really, it's not like, it's challenging. It's interesting. You can. I mentioned, since this, I think this is actually Turing complete, which is why I called it a 2D Turing machine. So you could, in theory, do a lot of crazy things with this. God damn it, the music is so loud. You could do a lot of crazy things with it, and since there's community solutions and community levels, there might be some crazy people who build some crazy stuff with it, or you can if you feel the desire to do so. So that's pretty cool. I kind of like it. As mentioned, it's not perfect. The progression, like, yeah, it feels a little like the levels are a little repetitive. Some of, like, kind of. The level design is not bad, but it's not super brilliant either. But it's challenging, and that's important for a puzzle game. It's actually the most important thing for me in a puzzle game. The puzzles have to be challenging without being unfair, and that's definitely the case here. So yeah, it's called Cyber Sentinel. The link is in the description below. I definitely recommend it, and yeah, check it out if you want. If you liked the video, feel free to press the like button. I am TH Pine. Thanks a lot for watching. Have fun, and see you next time.